Welcome back to week 3, episode 3, Whistle to Whistle podcast. Still name pending if we ever get around to it. Uh, we are back. Looks like John's got his Red Wings hat back on.
Yeah, got to support the Red Wings. I don't got a Pistons hat because the Pistons are playing pretty dang good basketball, just like Cleveland though. So
Yeah. I back to the Ohio State hat, racking it. Can't go wrong with that.
yeah,
And I'm,
but you're
I'm
not
pulling
wearing.
out the
I was saying, what
Dodgers.
jersey we wearing today though, here, Vaughn?
I'm pulling out the Dodgers. An old Sandy Koufax jersey.
No,
If I
little
could,
Sandy Koufax, eh?
if I could get up and turn around, I'd show you. But I think I'd have trouble. So we're gonna. You can believe it.
You can believe it. Okay,
You
all
can
right.
believe it. Yeah. So we got an exciting one today. We're gonna dive into wrestling. We're gonna talk about different styles and levels, right?
Yeah, there's. I never realized how much the levels there was to this. Actually,
Yeah, I started doing my research and I was kind of overwhelmed by the amount of styles and differences in them. But before we get there, let's quick recap of the sports world from the last time we talked.
yeah. I mean, that's pretty crazy, right? You got to start with the World Series, right? I mean, went 7 games. Viewers were up. Uh, we were both prediction wrongs, but still though it was a great series. Just yeah, with the extras in the last game, so that was pretty cool.
Yep.
Uh, Obviously being a baseball fan, and nerd, I love it. So, but I'm guessing that's why we're wearing the Dodgers jerseys because you're celebrating their win, or what's
Well,
going
it's World Series. I don't know if I'm celebrating the win, but I had to. I had the Dodgers jersey, so
on? Yeah,
it relates.
I got it.
We'll go there.
So yeah, so what you got anything to say about that World Series win, or just how Yamamoto just you know that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, kind of expected, right? I mean, we didn't think 7 games, but we think we both picked the Dodgers.
Yeah, we both picked the
And
Dodgers for sure. Yeah,
realistic, we picked the Dodgers. Shocked it went to 7. I think. Didn't think the Blue Jays had it in them to make it a
yeah.
series.
I mean, it was a great series though. So at least it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So we had some extras in that, and we had some extra NASCAR racing,
oh
NASCAR
yeah,
championship.
and seeing here, you're seeing Denny Hamlin. Uh, he's gonna regret maybe taking 4 tires. He took 4 tires, and uh, Kyle Larson only took 2. And it kind of didn't work out in his favor though, because you kind of watch the replay of this overtime. We kind of got Bowman was in front of Larson, and I feel like maybe we talked about that, right? Team
Yep.
dynamics. Like, are you going to let your guy win? Well, of course you're going to let your guy win. Like, come on now. And
Yep.
Hamilton's kind of stuck on the bottom, and Larson and Bowman were up on top. And Bowman, I feel like, just kind of slowed down a little bit. Might have not shown it, but it kind of felt like it might have been that happened. So Denny Hamlin comes again up short. So it's just he might be the next Mark Martin. That's what people are starting to say. So win a lot of races, but just can't get over the hump for the championship. So
Right. Yeah. So you said overtime. What do you think? What do you think of the NASCAR overtime?
I think it's interesting, but man, I kind of dig it. But I used to also love. I understand why they can't do that anymore, just because accidents and stuff. But I love when they used to be able to just race back to the line. Still, that was just the old school NASCAR way, and you know how we are. We're boomers on that, but so I feel like definitely not my favorite, but it's interesting how they race like that and stuff like that. But I'm just an old school guy. What are you thinking?
Yeah. I don't know. I think you race and it's kind of you're knocking guys out and just making it not worth it for everybody for the rest of the year. So you give these 12 guys a chance, and then it's just like, eh.
Yeah. No, that's the thing is that also it's just that's people are saying Denny Hamlin would have won it all. Well, I think they looked it up, and I think somebody did like what you said last week, like you know you go back in time and look at all the people different winnings or whatever, and I think he would have took like six out of the sixth place instead of second technically. So
Right.
that's just how it goes.
So speaking of racing, we had a kind of racing related question about last week's episode, which had nothing to do with racing. But there was a question here, and it says, where are the tech ball announcers coming from, MotoGP or F1? And John, I don't know if you've ever listened to MotoGP or F1, but those guys can make watching paint dry sound interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I listen to F1 guys. They, really like to, like you said, you could watch paint dry with them, and it would make it interesting. So I would feel like, the NASCAR circuit actually brought back a guy from, I believe, some F1 racing. He does the NBC broadcast now, and he does a really good job, and he makes it really entertaining, to watch NASCAR. I mean, because NASCAR can get, sometimes it can get a little boring for people.
Another left turn.
Another left turn, yes. So for me, though, it's just, I've always loved, how, like, sport tech ball, right? That's where we got the question from. Like, I feel like it's really awesome how they just get so involved in it,
Mm-hmm.
So I did watch some more highlights on them, and I was like, oh, okay. So they do. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see, if it all plays out how it's supposed to. But, just seeing the announcers just going crazy is just, I think anything announcers going crazy. Maybe not over the top sometimes, like me. I kind of go over the top.
Ah, well.
Yeah, but, but that's just who I am as a person. So, but, yeah. What do you think? Did you look up in the announcers or anything?
I didn't listen. I didn't watch any announcers, but I've seen some MotoGP and some F1, and it would be interesting to get those guys. Definitely high energy, high strung. So it'd be cool. Sure. But we appreciate the questions, and the super fan, the fundamental super fan, strikes again.
Strikes again.
What I hear.
I got a new mic apparently.
Yeah.
Still trying to figure out who the fundamental superfan is. I appreciate it though. It really is pretty cool. It's just
it makes me feel like crap.
Well, maybe now that you have a nickname, Mr. Wild Thing.
Maybe so.
Maybe you just needed that.
Yeah, there we go. Just needed that. Maybe I'll start getting
so I'm trying to figure out who it is. I mean,
stuff.
I appreciate the gift again, so thank you. I mean, like I said, the light. Now we got the mic. Got some rhyming in there now.
Yeah, there we go. We'll maybe somebody can get us a studio.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, we'll take a studio somewhere, where we can just do this in person, and then we can have our guests show up there, and it's just easier.
Yeah. So, any other major sports? Any other? See, we had the NFL. Looks like the NFL trade deadline came and went. Big time trades.
What'd you think of the Sauce Gardner trade, man?
Hey, he's gonna win. I guess he's gonna be on a winning team. I guess that's what these teams do, right? They make a push, they try, and then there's.
Well, if you're a good team and you push, that's a good thing. As we saw that the Lions did nothing.
Pittsburgh didn't do much either.
And then you got also the Jets traded, Quinion Williams, right? Too. Like their whole defense just went,
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty funny though that to trade back, right, was part of that Michael Parsons trade, right? Mozzie Smith. So he went from Green Bay down to the Cowboys to the Jets, all in 5 or 6 months. So that's pretty interesting.
Keep your bags packed, right? Yeah.
So, but teams will do what they need to do to win. So that's what they're supposed to do. I mean, yes, don't get me wrong, future capital is great, but if your time is in, you got to do something. So that was probably the biggest trade probably for sure of the NFL trade deadline probably for sure. So
Yeah. Not much else going on. First college football rankings, they came
Yep.
out. Love to see those. At least half of us love to see those here.
Yeah.
So,
Well, obviously, Ohio State for sure.
Yeah.
They
Top
definitely
four.
deserve to. I mean,
top
there's
four
nothing
is,
saying anything. Just get it saying.
Hey.
I mean, he's playing top tier football right now. I mean, yes, it helps that he has a great receiver crew, but that doesn't mean something. He still has to put the ball where it needs to be. So.
Yeah, I think he had 3 incomplete passes last week, and 2 of them were drops by the receivers. So
right, so that's super efficient. Like, you cannot ask a quarterback to do anything better than that. And I feel like he's kind of starting to come into his own even more because he's reading the field great. Like, he's not trying to make those big plays unless it's there. But if he's not, he's just doing his little thing and keeps the ball moving. And that's all you need to be doing. And like, if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to be a great NFL quarterback because he's doing what any NFL coordinator or coach would want him to do. Like, yes, you might want to hit the home run play when you need to, but when you don't need it, just move the ball up slowly. Who cares if you get, take your time and move up the field.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think Ohio State is on pace to pretty much add an extra bye week to their season with how slow they play, which is insane to think about. Because, I mean, we got so used to Urban Meyer and just pound it, get to the line quick, get another playoff, run the defense down, and score.
But we talked about last week, right? Like, or a couple weeks ago maybe, is Big Ten football is way different than SEC football. And Urban Meyer came from, Florida to Ohio State. So not purposely maybe, but but that's just the thing though, is just that he had that. That's how SEC runs, man. They run that RPO more times than you know it, right? And Big Ten football is not that way. And that's what I think that's Day is doing a great job of, is making it feel like it is Big Ten football, and so I think that's pretty great.
Yeah. So we got a couple more weeks until end of November. Here is probably it's like our holiday, right? It's our second holiday of the holiday season. We got Thanksgiving, the game, and then Christmas.
Yeah, and it's all just gonna be it's great. It's always gonna be a great time. I feel like it's usually a great game that usually goes on because both teams want to win so bad, and I think that's what makes it so good. But this year, Michigan does not look like anything again. But
yeah, I'm not saying much right now. I mean, last year I said the same thing, and
yeah, well, like I said, I think they're not going to do what they did last year. So I think they've learned not to do that. So I hope for you guys, obviously, on that. So it makes it a little bit better of a game for you. But
right,
because it is at the Big House this year. So
it is. I think I'll be there, but we'll see.
You probably will be.
So what we got? Any other major sports? Any other before we dive in?
I mean,
before we dive into wrestling here,
I feel like we should just dive into wrestling because we just get a recap real quick, right? I mean, when we need to talk about big sports, we will. But I feel like it would be cool to talk about what the different things that we wanted to talk about.
So I think wrestling is it's a little better known than tech ball or beat ball, but I still think it's one of those that gets pushed to the side because most people think of wrestling, they think WWE, right? Or the entertainment side of wrestling, which it's wrestling, but it's not what you think of in local high schools or colleges even of wrestling. So I know I can start her off here. I got a brief history. My history minor from school is coming in handy here.
Woo, finally, something.
Finally using my degree, Mom.
You should be proud.
Yeah. So, couple of different websites, couple of different things here. So wrestling was started by the Greeks and to train their warriors for battle.
Yeah, because obviously, right? So that's before guns and stuff like that. So hand-to-hand combat was what you needed to know. So
yeah. So after the Romans defeated Greece, whatever, however long that took them, the Romans took it over and kind of took out the barbarity of it and turned it into more of a sport than anything else. And that spread out through around Europe, and the settlers brought it over here and thought, oh, this would be great, only to find out that the Native Americans were already doing something pretty similar.
right, which is just, that's what it is. It's like, really, it's not who might have made it. Like, who knows? The Native Americans could have, started it way back then. And, but obviously they don't have as much known history, obviously, as I feel like we know as world history,
Right.
So I just think it's very interesting that wrestling started like that, right? Like that it just really it was supposed to help them. Like the Greeks try to win against the Romans and stuff. And then, the Romans are like, well, we beat you, but we're gonna still learn how to do this because it looks like it's fun.
Right. Yeah. So I looked it up. I don't know how many you found, John. There are a bunch of different types of wrestling.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much there was. Really, I thought there was only maybe 5 to 10 different ways of doing things, right? Maybe, but there's a lot,
Yeah.
more than expected.
You want to go over a couple you found? See what we got here.
I mean, you can go first, and then I'll go over a couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's your freestyle wrestling.
Yeah. Freestyle.
There's and the Greco-Roman style. Those are the two big ones that are Olympic style wrestling. Those are what you're going to see in the Olympic Games and things of that nature. Didn't go too far into that. I stayed towards the collegiate wrestling,
which I think is pretty great too.
Yeah, that's the most you're most popular with high school, middle school, college age competitors.
Right. And there's some different rules, obviously, for obviously high school kids to college wrestling, right? So there's a bunch of different things that go into that. It's just I thought, I kind of went over what kind of attire you might need, right? Like for, is, you probably obviously need the proper wrestling shoes. You need singlets, obviously. And probably even a mouth guard, just to be safe, just because, if you get beat around a little bit, you just want to make sure you don't lose your teeth like hockey players out there. So there's a lot of training that goes into it as well. I knew there was a lot, but I didn't really know how much really. Obviously there's a lot of running, there's a lot of swimming, you could cycle, and then even intense interval training. Like, they go hard. And then obviously that's not even like that's half the practice. You got to still practice your, wrestling moves and stuff. So a lot goes into it. And that's, especially at a high schooler, trying to keep weight, right? They're trying to do anything possible to keep weight. So staying hydrated throughout is hard, I'm sure. But like, they're not trying to eat, right? Because they're trying to keep their weight. So it's just kind of hard for them to do stuff like that, but they do. They try to, avoid liquid calories so that they can, limit the fatty foods. Like, they usually don't see wrestlers, right? Like they usually in football season, right? They're the offensive linemen, man. They're pounding food to keep big, right? But then as soon as usually a lot of in our school was, football right to wrestling. So now they're trying to lose weight.
Yep.
So all that weight that they probably were focusing on doing, now they got to start, trying to become a weight class. So they're trying to really, especially if there's a couple guys that are in the same weight class, it's difficult because, it's hard to go against your friend, it's more fun when you versus somebody else. So it's kind of a different kind of thing. So it's just how interesting really wrestling is. I mean, obviously, I looked into more sumo wrestling. I love sumo
Oh
wrestling.
yeah, I didn't even think of that one. There you go.
Yeah, so sumo wrestling is just something that's just fun to watch. You know, got big guys just pushing people, and I mean, obviously, it's a little different, right? It's just you're trying to push a guy out of the circle, right? But so, what else you got there, Fawn?
Well, I really dove into the collegiate wrestling. Breaking Whistle to Whistle podcast news. Next week we'll have our first guest in probably a makeshift studio in one of our garages. But our buddy Liam is going to come on and talk to us about wrestling. So I tried to learn all about the wrestling he did, which was the collegiate type of wrestling, and just the main goals of it. Right? I mean, I'm gonna throw you into the ring with him, John. I'm gonna put you on the mat
I
with
don't know if
him,
that's a good idea, but we'll see how that works.
or maybe
I think I might not be in his weight class. He's probably a little bit stronger than me too.
Well, I guess you got to start training now.
Yeah, hey, at
So,
least you gave me a little bit of time to
yep.
start trading. So
So there's different types of scoring. Reversals is a point, not a bounds is a point, and main ways to win by pin. Right? I mean, that seems like a easy
yeah, there's
way.
a lot of cool different ways. Like obviously that's the most fun one, right? Winning by the
Right,
pin
right.
is I never pinned anybody in my life when I wrestled, and for 2 years of my life I felt like.
Yeah.
So
So I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I think I did my research, I did my stuff. I don't know much about it, but hopefully getting Liam on next week, kind of learn about the ins and outs of the collegiate type of wrestling. I mean, I think that's kind of why we started this, right? We want to learn a little bit. We want to get some questions that people may have for said guest of
yeah, and
that they
that's what I
want
was
to
going to
learn.
transition to is just please ask some
Yeah,
questions about it. So
you
because
know,
I mean, we're all still, like I said, we're all here to learn about things that a lot of people probably, I mean, there's a lot of people that know about wrestling, but there's a lot of people that don't. So
yeah,
I think it'll
that's
be
it.
great to have the kind of, especially a guy that has that collegiate experience,
Yeah, yeah. So we did our research and we did all this, but I don't want to sit and bore people with, oh, this is the rules of wrestling. This is the rules of this. For the lesser known sports, it's kind of cool, right? Tech ball and beep ball is something nobody's ever going to think of, but something like wrestling, you can just Google it and get your answers. So I think I think we get somebody on, we get somebody to talk about it. I think he's wrestled most of his life, so it'll be interesting to hear, and maybe inspires a kid or somebody to get out on the mat or do whatever they want to do, right? I mean,
yeah, that's seriously, that's what it is. You know, from my small town, that's our biggest sport is wrestling. We die and live and die by it. Just a lot of people have wrestled, and a lot of people come back and help out the younger people, and I think that's great. That's what's great about the wrestling is it's a big family. You know,
yeah,
so I think I'm sure Liam will be able to tell us that too. Is that he loves all of his friends that he wrestled with and got to know throughout his life, and he's got their friends for life, I'm sure. So, and that kind of transitions us to the professional wrestling, right?
yeah. The more the probably the one that more people are gonna know about, right? And know names of wrestlers. You got your WWE, your AEW, your whatever there is. There's, I mean, shoot, there's circuits. There's midget wrestling, right? We
Woo!
saw that at the county fair a couple years ago, right? There's everything, right? But you know, the WWE type wrestling is something I grew up with watching. A lot of guys, John Cena or Randy Orton,
Now, about to
and
say good old Randy Orton.
yeah,
Yeah.
all those type of guys.
I mean, you also got, the Undertaker. You just got a lot of great guys that have been a part of the big show. Just a lot of different guys that just solidify, what WWE is all about.
Right. Yeah. There's
So,
a lot of people that, well, it's not real. It's all stage. It's fake. And there's a lot of documentaries out there. And it is, the results are kind of predetermined, but that's why you can't bet on wrestling. But they still go out there. They still jump off the ladders and chairs. And they
right.
still do that stuff. It's not all fake.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, it's not all the way legit, but it's legit in a way too. It's just, it's an entertainment, like any sport. It's entertainment. It's supposed to, like, especially at the professional level, it's supposed to be about entertainment. It brings the fans in, and that's where they keep making a lot of money. Right.
Mm.
And I feel like everywhere you go, people talk about WWE. Like they are excited that they're coming. Like the WWE Super Slam coming here.
Yeah.
So so that's just, I think it's great that, that they still have that brand after this many years, and people will say, oh, it's fake. Well, people are still going. So who cares?
Mm-hmm. They're still selling out arenas.
Predetermined. Who cares? Like, it's all supposed to be fun,
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think that's a different form almost. I don't know. You could categorize wrestling, right? There's your youth, and then you go middle school, high school, college, and Olympics, right? I think that's the top for that style of wrestling. And I think the professional entertainment style is completely different, right? I think there's different tiers to it, but WWE is the top, and there's a lot of cool things. As a kid, that's all I watched, so I could go on for hours about it. But
yeah, like I said, as a kid, it is immersive, right? You're just like, this is so cool, guys just beating the crap out of each other. But that's what it's supposed to be, right? Like any sport, if a kid gets involved, they're usually a fan for life, usually, right? So, like, that's why I think I love baseball so much, and that's But the thing is, not everybody, like how you talked about, right? That when you were a kid, you loved watching WWE. Like you and your brother probably were just immersed in it. And so, and you will always have those great memories of, John Cena and The Undertaker doing stuff. And they're also great humans. They really are. They give back a lot. And that's also what I love about the WWE wrestlers. So,
yeah. So I know this is a little shorter one today, but we're getting our feet wet still, trying to figure things out. We are going to have a guest next week, Liam, who wrestled for the Dundee Vikings wrestling squad. Pretty sure they haven't lost a state championship in probably 10 plus years,
which is just insane.
They should be getting their own documentary on ESPN. So I'm pretty sure he's a state champ. He can correct me if I'm wrong next week. So Liam, if you do watch this, bring all your hardware. I want to see it. Make sure you're ready to go and stretched out. We're gonna get John on the mat with you.
Yeah, I'll bring it on, Lehman. I'm just ready to go.
Oh yeah, we got a challenge. We'll incorporate the WWE and the Olympic style wrestling here. You can cut your promo, and he can take you down.
Hey, gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. So we are planning on a studio next week. Trying to move forward here with the podcast. If you do have questions for us, for Liam, we'll throw them in there. You can email us at whistletowhistlepod@gmail.com. I'll put it all in the description here. Or we have Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, all that fun stuff at Whistle to Whistle Pod. Love to have questions. I think we try to record Wednesdays or Thursdays. So if you could get the questions by Tuesday or Wednesday afternoon at the latest, we can throw them in there for them and see if we can trip them up on some questions about wrestling. We'll
Yeah.
fact check them.
We'll fact check them. That sounds like a great plan. I think that sounds fun, just because it will be interesting to talk about that kind of stuff. Because, like I said, Liam is, we think, a professional, and he probably learned from somebody that's probably great at coaching. If you win in 10 plus years of state championships, that's in a row.
Right. Yeah. So I think so that'll do it for wrestling. I do want to mention the next couple weeks here. So we'll record with Liam next week. And then we are going to come together with a rivalry series podcast. I'm a Buckeye, and John's a loser. So we'll get into that. Maybe we'll do our best to get some guys that maybe played in the game a couple times.
I'm gonna try to get my best to get somebody in here before that, so we can talk about it. It'd be pretty cool to talk about the game, because obviously we can only talk about it as fans, right? We don't know what goes into what they're prepping and what they're thinking, and so I'm gonna try to get somebody out there for us.
Yeah, so we'll work on maybe try to get a couple guys that had some experience more than just sitting in the stands or watching on TV for the game. Maybe a little history section, maybe a little friendly wager for
a friendly wager, huh?
Yeah, friendly little wager.
Okay.
See what we can do. So, anything else for you, John? Any other?
I don't think there's anything at the moment, just because we're just get your questions in. We would love to try to stump Liam, because it's so we'd like to stump the guests if we can. That's more fun when we can do that.
Okay, yeah. So get those questions in, or if you personally know us and want to reach out and submit a question that way, we'll take it. Any questions we can get for them. So I think I'm gonna go play that piano behind me, and we will.
All right.
Call
what are you feeling like playing? What are you gonna go for?
I guess some Buckeye Battle Cry probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna play the Hail to the Victors, but that's okay too.
I knew you were gonna say that, and I should have just cut the recording.
You should have cut it while you had the chance. So we're gonna have to edit that out probably, but that's
fine. I can edit. Maybe. Not really. If you know anybody, let's get it together. So, all right. Until next week, we will be glued to our TVs watching sports.
Yep. And have a great weekend, everyone, and enjoy and have fun.